Hello and welcome to a new series of KCPOS videos. This series is going to be focused on the additional functionality brought into KCPOS with the version 3 update. To kick things off, I'm going to introduce you to KCPOS Dashboard. KCPOS Dashboard is a brand new reporting tool pre-built with standard KPIs, graphs and reports. It will come with over 20 at no extra cost to your KCPOS solution. We're committed to increasing this number over time, adding an additional 5 reports in the next 6 months. KCPOS Dashboard is browser agnostic and is compatible with any mobile or tablet device, giving you the ability to view your reports on the go. So let's take a look at the dashboard. Here we have 7 categories in mind: sales summary, product sales, transactions, stock, customers, admissions and loyalty. Now the admissions and loyalty categories I'm going to be covering in a separate video as they're more industry specific. So the first category, sales summary. This is split up into 5 different reports, so let's take a look at them. The first report is a standard sales per month report. As you can see, it's formatted as a filterable graph. The graph displays the sale values in a particular month for the past 12 months. You can either view it on its own or compare it against last year's figures as well. You can also view the sales for a particular till or a particular user or branch. You can even filter upon the stock items that you want to see how many you've sold over the year on a monthly basis. The second report we have is the sales value per day report. Like the previous report, it's formatted as a filterable graph with the option to refine on either the stock items, tills, till operators or branches. This report gives you the ability to view the sales totals for a particular day across the month. Again, like the previous report, you can compare against last year and last month, so you can see exactly well the stores are performing. The third report is the sales per hour report. Like the previous 2 reports, this is also formatted as a filterable graph. This report gives you the ability to view how well the store is doing over different periods within the day. Again, you can compare these figures with last year's figures to see how well it's doing over the years. Okay, now on to the stock group sales analysis summary. So this report is formatted as a filterable grid view report. You can specify the dates that you want to run the report over. And it basically gives you the information of how the stock categories are doing with regards to sales over that particular period. So as you can see, you've got the group code, group name, quantity sold, the total gross value, excluding and including VAT, total cost, margin and margin percentage. Now, it's worth noting that all reports that you can see here are available to export to Excel, so you can view them in the Excel spreadsheet and export them elsewhere if needed. In this report, you have the ability to drill down in the group codes to see exactly which items have sold to make up that quantity. Lastly, in the sales summary section, we have the sales analysis summary report. As you can see, this is formatted the same as the previous report. You have filtered by data, tills, users, branches. So you can see all of the items that have been sold in that specific period, and you get exactly the same information as the previous report, but it's more drilled down on the exact stock code as opposed to the general group. So with this report and the previous report, you can sort by the quantity sold, so you can see exactly which has sold the most and so forth. You can sort by the total, including and excluding VAT. So all of the headers you can filter down on and sort by to view the highest or lowest performing stock items. The second section is product sales. So this is split up into 4 different reports. The first one being top 10 best sellers this year. As you can see, this report shows the top 10 best sellers this year based on the quantity of sold throughout the year. The figure is also compared to the figure that you sold last year, and again this can be turned on or off just by selecting the last year total as a comparison. You can hover over the bars to see exactly how many items were sold. In this case, there were over 36,000 of them. So the next report takes this a step further and have the top 10 bestsellers this month. So it's the same format as the last report, only on a monthly basis as opposed to for the whole year. Again, you can compare it against last month just to see how well the stock items are doing, and just to compare the sales. If you don't want them, you can just remove that option and have the sales for this month. The next report is the stock sale comparison year-to-date report. This gives you the ability to select up to 5 stock codes and compare their sales throughout the year to date. Like I said, so the report is up to 5 stock codes. It doesn't mean you have to have 5. Here we just have 3. They're just comparing the sales of these 3 products against each other, like I said, throughout the year to date. And lastly, in this section, we just have the stock sales grid at the bottom there. So you select a specific stock code, you choose the date range you want to specify, and once you refresh those stock sales, you can see exactly when this item was sold within that date range. So you've got the quantity, price, line net, and line VAT. And you can see what transaction reference, date and time that particular item was sold on. And again, all of these reports can be exported to Excel for further use. The next category is transactions. Now this is split into 3 sections. We have firstly just a list of transactions in a grid format. So as you can see, you select the date range you want to view the transactions for, and you have all the information there. What you also have the ability to do is to drill down on a specific transaction to see exactly what was sold. So you have all the transaction data in here to view in one place, as well as your reports. The second report you have is the transactions per till by date report. So as you can see here, it's nice and simple. You have a list of tills on the left-hand side, and going along right, you can see exactly how many transactions were taken on that till in the specified date range. So here we have a date range of the 6th of December up until the 6th of January, and till 1 has taken 1,505 transactions in that period. Now, obviously, you can change the date range to be whatever you like. You can have it on a particular day, or you can do it over a particular year. But the idea of this report is simply just to show you how many transactions are taken per till, so you can see if that till is useful where it is and if it's being utilised to its full potential. And the last report in this section is the transactions by user report. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You see exactly how many transactions a particular till operator has taken in the specific date range that you specified on the top there. So again, this is a monthly period of the 6th of December until the 6th of January, and you can just drill down and see which operator has processed the most transactions and which have done the less, so you can obviously see if any aren't performing as well as other till operators. Okay, so we're on to the stock section. Now this section is purely just the stock list in a grid format. So as you can see here, we've got the code, description, group, cost, unit price, and unit VAT. What you also have here, if you drill down on the specific item, are the stock levels at the specific locations you have here. You also have the in-stock quantity and free stock quantity. You also have the ability to view the price band prices if you're using different price bands. But again, the stock section is a grid format of the stock list. And you also have the ability to export this to Excel. And the final section is the customer section. Now again, like stock, it is a list of all your customer accounts you have here in grid format. So you've got the customer account code, name, the address line 1, postcode, telephone, the balance, and the credit limit. So you can see the activity on your customer's account from here as well. You can drill down on the particular customer account here, and you can see the transactions that they've taken and the value of them. So then you can also go back to the transactions page and view this transaction to see exactly what they've bought. You can also see the purchases. So here we have all of the items that are purchased by this particular customer and how many times they've purchased this particular item. Again, like all of the reports on here, you can export this to Excel. You can sort by the balance or credit limit. You can sort by a particular postcode. Again, You've just got the main information here from your customer list in the same place as your reporting, so you don't have to go elsewhere to view all this information. Okay, so those are all the categories I'm going to be going through today. Like I said, the admissions and the loyalty categories I'll be covering in a separate video, as these are more specific categories. So just a few points to recap on. Like I said previously, the KCPOS dashboard will come as standard at no extra cost with the KCPOS version 3 solution. So everything you've seen today will be included in the KCPOS version 3 solution, and you won't have to pay anything extra to access this. So like I've said, the dashboard is pre-built with around 20 standard KPIs, graphs and reports, and we are committed to increasing that number over time. So like I said, in the next 6 months, there's going to be at least five more reports added, and then the 6 months after that, there's going to be at least another 5 added. So this time next year, there's going to be around 30 standard reports within the dashboard for you to have and use. So as well as the standard reports that are going to be in the dashboard, we also have the ability to create customer-specific reports if some of them don't match exactly your requirements. So there's always the possibility to add specific reports to the dashboard if they are needed. So another point to recap on is the fact that the dashboard is browser agnostic and also mobile and tablet compatible, so you can view your reports on the go. One thing I didn't cover was the fact that the dashboard is controlled through user login, allowing access to certain reports or screens to be restricted based on the security rights of the operator. And also, like I said, all of the reports and graphs you've seen today can be exported to Excel, so you can see them in a spreadsheet format and use them elsewhere if needed. So there we have it. That's a brief introduction to KCPOS dashboard. If you want any more information on anything you've seen today, go ahead and visit www.kcpos.co.uk. And like I said, the admissions and the loyalty categories will be mentioned in another video. So thank you very much for your time.